Bell Star 31's Episode 1 of Universe Mode WWE 2k20. Now, it took me a fucking long ass time to get this roster down because the game is very much broken. And despite how broken this game is, we know we got that patch. The patch fixed up some issues. Before the patch came out, there was a lot more problems, but the patch did fix a lot of these problems. Now, going on, it took me at least an hour to set up my roster because when I was creating my character, I wanted my cousin to download my character for his universe. And then when I checked the roster, even though it's saved, the game acted like it didn't save, so I had to do the roster all over again. And now we're here. I have Raw set up. I got the roster set up finally, and my universe is going to be set up differently. We got Raw, we got SmackDown, we still got NXT as well. And I added a WCW/ECW brand. Now, this isn't like the original, like I'm not gonna have Monday Nitro because it doesn't feel like Monday Nitro. Honestly, I'm just using the belts. Like the main titles are the WCW World Heavyweight title, the WCW United States title. I also have the 2008 ECW Championship, the ECW Tag Team Championships, and I also have the old Divas title from, back in the 2000s. So this is how I got my universe set up as a way to kind of use everybody. And everybody's different with their styles on how they book their universes. A lot of people like to just play modern, and they use the modern people that WWE has today. Some people like to do an old school run. Maybe they start off in the Attitude Era or maybe even the golden age of WWE. Me, I'm more of like kind of a fantasy booking. I like to use everyone at once. So if we get something like the Fiend Bray Wyatt versus the Ultimate Warrior, it's kind of like a how would I book that? Who would win? How would one come over the other kind of deal? And that's always been my style. I mean, I know some of my friends, they don't really like to mess in the eras or whatnot, and they just like to stick to one era, and that's fine too. And like, I really do think that this game is good, but obviously the bugs in this game hold it back from being great. Like, this game has the potential to be one of the all-time great wrestling games in my opinion. If 2K could keep dropping the correct patches, I really do think this game has the potential. Because for a while, and me being more of an old school wrestling gamer, I was there since, the very first Smack, even before that. I mean, WWF Warzone we're talking about. But obviously, seeing the rise of SmackDown video games, being there since the beginning, and like most of us, most wrestling fans, we fell in love at SmackDown, Shut Your Mouth, and then on. And after a while, it just felt like wrestling games have gotten bland. And I don't blame people for feeling that or believing that, because I too felt that way. But I do feel like this game has the potential to be an all-time great. But if they don't fix the bugs, that won't. It's impossible to get to that point. But anyway, we're going to start off with Monday Night Raw. We're going to do it episodic. We're going to start off with Raw. Now, this honestly isn't the card I had booked, and that's another, I guess, bug in the game where if you leave universe mode and come back, they'll give you a whole new card that you didn't set up at all. So I have 3 rivalries on Raw. I'm about to add another one. Hopefully that'll give me the matches that I want back, because I don't have a women's title rivalry. And who's the... Okay, so I'm gonna have Becky Lynch feud with... I'll have her feud with Lacey Evans. This way it should at least get back the rivalry matches that I wanted. Okay, yeah, this is the tag team feud. So, okay. So I guess this episode of Raw, we're just going to be focusing on, I guess, the Seth Rollins versus John Cena match and the call out of Robert Roode calling out the European champion AJ Styles. Now, going back to why I have the European title instead of the United States title is because since I made the WCW brand, I didn't really want to have 2 United States titles. So since I had the WCW United States title and it's on the WCW brand, and AJ Styles starts off as the WWE United States champion, I just switched it over and had him start off as the European champion. And if there's one thing, I mean, I know a lot of people have been ragging on the graphics of this game. If there's one thing I could say that WWE 2k20 does better than any of the previous wrestling games graphically, it's the championship belts. Like, for years I haven't really liked these tag titles, but when I saw the SmackDown tag titles like on an entranceway and when the referees like holstered it up, I was like, it's beautiful. It's just completely beautiful. But this is probably going to be a short run. I'm going to finally start this off. I don't know if there's any matches I really care to change right now. Every title, except maybe the tag titles, the Raw tag titles, is probably in a feud. I mean, unless I book that, but you know, right now, until I figure out what I want to do, I'm not 100% sure what I want to do with the Raw Tag Team Champions just yet. And maybe I'll also play the Alexa Bliss Peyton Royce matchup. But, you know, starting things off, we're actually going to get this Monday Night Raw started. Praying to God this game doesn't break on me. And, oh crap, I turned the music off because, you know, I'm just sitting here like, when we used to run a backyard wrestling promotion, and when one of my boys would kind of play a fake WWE character, my other brother would go, "Vince, please don't sue." And you know, that's why I got the music off right now, because Vince, please don't sue, please, just please. But you know, going into this Monday Night Raw, and another thing that I'm a huge fan of Universe Mode, and I know that a lot of wrestling fans, and I've always wanted their opinions, and you know, if you ever watch this video and you like the video and you comment, I want to know your honest opinions about GM mode versus Universe Mode, because me, I don't necessarily hate GM mode. I always thought GM mode was a workable mode, but I was never big on it. So I was never big on it to the point where I thought it was great. And it's like wrestling fans continuously ask, when are we going to get GM mode again? And it's like, you know, what was so great about that mode that people want it back so much? Like, granted, like I was saying, going back, I've been here since the beginning, and honestly, in my honest opinion, I think the greatest modes was like the shut your mouth SmackDown 2 and even SmackDown Here Comes the Pain season modes. Like those, I had the most fun with those. GM mode was something that was fun to play, but it wasn't that. And then I remember when SmackDown vs. Raw 2011 came out with Universe mode, it blew me away. It still wasn't better than what the older season mode wrestling games offered, but I was curious. I'm just curious to know Manny's opinions between GM mode and Universe mode, and what was so what drawed people into GM mode, because I enjoyed it, but I didn't think it was that great. Now, going back to SmackDown vs. Raw 2009, maybe they should have kept GM mode, because just Road to WrestleMania and a lazy career mode was just pure garbage to me.
Who doesn't? I don't. Where's this going? I think it's about to be a highlight reel.
This is... These girls are about to get...
Oh, well, we had a feeling this could happen. Misstep and the ambush is foiled.
And here we go. Alexa Bliss. I forgot. Somebody said you could turn this off. But, you know, that's cool. It could add on to the storyline, I guess. Alexa Bliss and Bush's Peyton Royce. And we got ourselves a brawl right now. But I still want a match, so we're going back into the ring. Get up. This is what we call exciting wrestling. At least we got something off the bat. I mean, hey, it's not, you know, a universe-esque cutscene, but it's something, you know, and that's what I've always been a fan of, something. But like I was saying, going back, I would talk about Universe mode versus GM mode, and I really wanted an honest opinion. A lot of people do find GM mode better than Universe, and I always wondered why. I give you the perfect example of why I don't believe that. GM mode, especially going back to as far as 2008, they added ECW, and it almost seemed like they didn't know what to do with the game from that point. And it just felt like it didn't even belong in the game. Versus Universe mode, if I wanted to make an ECW, it'll at least make some sort of sense. You get what I'm saying? It just... ECW, like if you wanted to play ECW in GM mode, you had no real way to have a fair shot to compete with your friends who was Raw and SmackDown. You had one belt, you had limited pay-per-views. It just wasn't good. Versus in Universe mode, if you created your ECW, you could have more than one belt. You could have as many pay-per-views as you want. And had, well, you know, I know that Universe mode isn't really based on competition like GM mode is. So maybe from that aspect I could understand. Like maybe people like the competitive aspect, but I know friends of mine that play GM mode by themselves that just enjoy that aspect of it. Just like, I don't get it. But back to the match, we're having a competitive match, and for me, another thing about Universe mode, or at least now in WWE games, because you know, PS4 and Xbox One, the current generation of consoles, the matches flow so much better. And it just wasn't always like that. So now I like building up to having these 3.5, 4-star, 5-star matches, and that's what brings the excitement in here. It's like, you know, in older games you really couldn't do that. But oh, the spin kick puts it down. Is that enough to take Bliss down? 1, 2, no. We have ourselves a match, especially after Peyton Royce was blindsided by Alexa Bliss. Alexa fighting back.
Great one-on-one action here tonight. It doesn't get much better than this.
And a boot to the pretty face of Peyton Royce.
Foot right in the throat. Brutal.
This has been a pretty decent match. You know, a lot of these times, for a while, the women's moveset in obviously previous games were very limited. But I guess as the women's revolution began, they honestly started getting better. I've played a bit of the showcase of the 4 horsewomen, and you know, I gotta say, like, out of the 4 horsewomen, Bayley is my personal favorite, though I like all 4. But you know, Bayley to me has like the most versatile moveset. So, and it's been a while since, you know, I mean, I remember in games like Mercy and SmackDown 2, I like to play as China, but you know, China used to be able to compete with the men and whatnot. So that was a difference. Oh, reverse the finisher. This has been a pretty good match thus far. I honestly do like Alexa Bliss as well. Bliss is ooh.
It's been an hellacious encounter thus far. The tides have swung in multiple directions.
You're not even getting a 1 count here. You're gonna have to do more work than that.
And Alexa Bliss heads for the top rope. Alexa Bliss gets out of the way quickly.
Back and forth. One thing that I also did was I made sure it was unlimited reversals, because, you know, I always felt like it was more of a fair shot to do that versus, you know, it gives both competitors a chance, even the computer, but the computer always knew how to use make sure I ran out of reversals and then get shit stomped for about a good 5 minutes until I got 1 reversal back. So and you know,
attacking the back.
I definitely like to thank J2K Hollow for the comments, but yeah, no, cuz I mean that's what I was saying. I always felt that with GM mode, I always felt GM mode was very limited. Now, you know, like I said, I'm getting from a competitive aspect, like, you know, if me, you, and our boy Big Mike were to play OH GM mode, and you were Raw and he was SmackDown and I was ECW, I'd be completely screwed. But, you know, if we were to all 3 build our brands here on Universe, I always felt like, okay, we could both all 3 of us could make sense out of it. That's why it was like, to me, I never was, not to say that, oh, I hated or I thought it was trash. I never thought it was trash, but I always felt that the limitations really held back GM mode. But, oh, do we get a 3? Yes, we do. Peyton Royce goes over Alexa Bliss via pinfall.
Taking a look again at how Alexa's moment of bliss was ruined. That's a woman on a mission. Critics of these ladies.
And I just noticed the 2 managers are like literally like twitching at each other at the entrance. It's kind of cute. And it looks like she's not done.
This is the confrontation we've all been waiting.
And she just put her coochie in her face. Royce looking at, and Bliss, whoa! What is he going for? A 3 Amigos snap suplex. Hey! It's her finisher. Hey. Oh, with a fisherman suplex. Nice. The Iconics making their presence felt. Will they get their hands on those women tag team titles? Raw's already off to a pretty decent start. I mean, you know. We got Paige and Ronda Rousey, Braun Strowman and Bobby Lashley. Ooh, what a feud that would make. Oh, we also got Becky Lynch versus Sasha Banks. This should be a good one. But, you know, I post out here Universe stuff because, you know, there's some people that always have trouble with what direction they want to go in their universe, and it's always nice to share ideas, because I think that also helps people grow in development. Like, we've all had our different styles, and we like to take ideas, share ideas, and move on when it comes to universe.
Banks is a raging egomaniac, but it doesn't get more heated than this. The boss and the man are about to throw down. The boss and the man are laying it all on the line. Neither one will be the same after tonight. Sasha Banks needs to find a way out.
Sasha Banks, Becky Lynch. Storied rivalry here. Two of the 4 horsewomen of professional wrestling.
Right to the nose.
And I must say, I definitely have to give WWE their props for giving these women the spotlight, because these women can really wrestle. So it's like, now in these WWE games, it's like now you like to be able to play as Becky Lynch or Charlotte Flair or Ronda Rousey. It's like you got so many skilled women in the promotion now. And oof, what is that? Sambo suplex, T-Bone suplex, I should say.
Going to have a hard time stopping Becky when she's doing this. Becky Lynch.
Oh, doof! Wow. Becky ain't playing no games. 3 finishes stored.
Nice takedown by Becky, looking for the armbar. And the ropes break
Oh,
this one up.
rope break saving the boss's ass right there. This is built up to be a squash match. Oh, she's going for it again. She's going for it again. I don't think Sasha's going to survive this time. And she taps out.
Becky Lynch got it. Becky Lynch taking in the moment as we look back at what unfolded. Remember this? Still can't believe I get paid to watch this amazing action. And the boss goes down with a loss at the hands of a man. Becky Lynch with a huge win over Sasha Banks. Banks game in a row.
Yeah, they really squashed her pretty badly on that one. I didn't expect the match to go that way either. And I thought something would have happened because, she's in a rivalry with Lacey Evans. WWE 2k Universe mode. And we also have up next Seth Rollins versus John Cena, the main event of Monday Night Raw. Will the Universal Champion survive against the leader of the C Nation? I'm really hoping they fix these bugs, man. It's like they started something with that patch last week, and I was glad that they finally delivered us something, because it was bad, man. I mean, it was to the point where I had created my superstar and he didn't have any moves. Like, not to say, oh, he had a generic base set. He had nothing. He had absolutely nothing. And even though I had the move saved, like outside universe, my guy was an 100 overall created character. And, but when he came into universe mode, he had absolutely nothing. And even when you try to play as him, he couldn't do a single move. Thankfully, the patch fixed that. Thank God the patch fixed that. But obviously, there's still more issues with this game. Hopefully, 2K continues to drop some patches to fix up more of these issues. And look how gorgeous the Universal title looks like. Oh my God. So gorgeous. In 2K18, the Universal title just looked so dark and crispy. Oh, I hated it. That's why I never even really used it. But, Universal title started to grow on me in real life, and I honestly like this title. I'll probably be ordering a replica for myself because, one of my best friends, my roommate, my brother, he has the replica WWE title. I'm probably going to give myself the Universal title. Yeah, that Universal title do look fire, cuz I agree wholeheartedly. We have next the leader of the C Nation. He'll always be the doctor of thugonomics to me. In my opinion, one of the greatest of all time. Whether you love him or hate him, you can't deny what he's done for the business. That is the man, the myth, the legend, John Cena. It's a shame that he has not yet surprised that they hadn't given him one Universal title round. And perhaps that may change here in Universe mode.
For the arrival of one of the most inspirational heroes WWE has ever seen. And John Cena is without a doubt one of the most beloved superstars of all time. He's got the whole
and I'm going to need somebody to answer me a question because I'm not sure. I ended up getting a regular copy of the game even though I wanted to get the deluxe edition, but if anybody could let me know if the deluxe edition comes with, you know, the DLC of Hulk Hogan, China, and The Rock and Sock, I may actually try to maybe trade the regular in and just get the deluxe at some point so I could also have them to my collection, because I really want to build on stables this year. With Hogan, I could definitely have a legitimate NWO, China on DX. And look what we have here. And we have Triple H coming to watch closely this matchup between Seth Rollins and John Cena. I like the little colors they add too, like Triple H's entrance colors. That's so dope. That's so dope. I honestly do like that.
This is going to be one heck of a matchup.
The King of Kings and the Kingslayer. Triple H got his eyes on the prize. Hopefully he can get his hands on that Universal title. But Seth Rollins has got to focus in the ring against John Cena. I just see my cousin in the comments. I mean, cuz I really don't hate Cena's haircut as much as I thought. It wasn't as bad to me as like Triple H and The Undertaker going bald. And okay, seeing Cena do a Hurricane Rana, I'll really never get used to that. Like, Cena, you're not Rey Mysterio. Please stop. But I mean, I get why it would bother you.
He's just in so much pain right now.
Flatliner. Cena. Ooh, Cena fighting back. Ooh. Springboard tornado DDT.
Look, I know Seth Rollins very well. Seth's aware that John Cena rises to the occasion like no one else in sports entertainment. So Seth must unleash every weapon in his revered arsenal to keep Cena down. Seth Rollins cannot take anything for granted.
Rollins been connecting with some big moves so far. Can he put the Doctor of Thugonomics away? And swings him to the corner. Oh, wait a minute. Triple H infused with the barricade, talking his smack. Oh, Seth Rollins getting distracted. We got a match going on, Seth. You're the champ. You got to focus on what's in front of you. Nope, you catch a punch to the chin. The distraction is done. You're right, Michael Cole. You knew this was going to happen. This is like the most generic scene I always get in Universe mode, but here we are.
Bringing it back into the ring.
I forgot what WWE game it was. I think it's maybe, was it 12, maybe 13, maybe even 14. But it's like after that scene, they would just stay around and still be whooping your ass. So funny, but I hated it. I hated every moment.
Right to the throat.
Moonsault.
Innovation from the Kingslayer.
The Kingslayer is on fire right now. Versus John. Oh! Missed the Enziguri. And he decides to go for a pin. You know, I always suck at the timing. I always felt like maybe something like as useless as that could have honestly put me away. And, oh! Cena reverses again. This has been a great back and forth matchup between Cena and Rollins. And you know one thing that always surprised me about Cena is that I don't think Cena's ever really been part of a great stable, has he? Cena is one of the all-time greats in my opinion. You know, Triple H got Evolution and he's got D-Generation X. Seth Rollins got the Shield. Randy Orton's got Evolution. You know, Ric Flair's got Evolution and the Four Horsemen. Hulk Hogan's got the NWO. Hell, even The Rock's got the Corporation and even Nation of Domination if you want to take it that far. But John Cena doesn't have a great... He's never had a great stable. So interesting. Can Seth Rollins put away Cena right here? Phoenix splash off the second rope. Oh, get your stamina up, boy.
There's the future of the WWE.
Ooh. Knocks Seth to death. Rollins right out the ring with that lariat.
Beautiful takedown.
This has been a pretty good match, which is why I like using Seth Rollins. You asked, did Goldberg ever have a stable? No, he hasn't. No, he hasn't. I was gonna think about the time he rolled with Vince Russo when a wrestler refused to follow the script, but we're not gonna go there. We're just not gonna go there at all. And oh, Cena with an attitude adjustment.
Does he have a winning head now? Will this be enough?
Oh wow, I pressed the wrong button. I was pressing L2. See what I mean? I was trying to get the resiliency. But hey, Cena won. What a good match. This was a great match. I mean, could we really act like the Triple H distraction cost in this match? No, but I guess we could pretend. Cena now making himself definitely his presence known to be a possible contender for that that Universal title. And what a main event. But we're not done just yet, because the Glorious One has an interview, or should I say a promo, not an interview. I'd like an interview with that goddamn mustache he has. He really needs to chop that off. And why the hell is his name Robert Roode now? Dude's been Bobby Roode all my life. Now, for Vince McMahon-esque reasons, he's Robert Roode. My shitty life.
With everything going on lately, we thought we might.
But here is the Glorious One.
This crowd obviously wants to know
this man
what's
was
going on.
honestly one of my favorites in TNA. He was definitely the man. I remember his feud with AJ Styles in TNA, actually. And that's one of the reasons why I set up this feud. Another reason is I don't even know whether or not this game recognizes AJ Styles as a face or heel. Like, they don't have him with the club in this game for reasons unknown. But, you know.
Not making any friends, but not really concerned about it either.
A fine line between being competent.
You're definitely right about that, cuz from 05 to 09, TNA GOAT. Robert Roode looks like he's ready to get something off his chest. Looks like he's about to call out. He's about to call out someone he doesn't like. In the words of Jerry Lawler in WWE 2k17, maybe he needs a friend. Cheesy ass lines.
A fine line between being confident and being an egomaniac.
Oh, he's calling out the phenomenal one, the European champion AJ Styles. Will the champion answer?
Should have known that promo wasn't going to go uninterrupted.
Of course, I had to remain cheesy and turn audio down so there's no theme songs. But you get the picture. Here comes the man, the European champion. That's something I feel like they need to add. I think with promos, they should add champions coming out with the belt. That's one thing I wish that they did. Like, what champion would leave their belt in the locker room? Like, this isn't WCW. We care about our championship belts here. But here we go. The phenomenal one and the glorious one in the ring.
Doesn't even begin to describe the blood between these superstars.
Sometimes it's hard to get a word in edgewise.
AJ Styles firing up the crowd, letting them know. Ooh, the disrespect. The disrespect. The man put the thumb right down in his face. In his face. What are you going to say about that, Rob? I was going to call him Robbie. Oh, a kick to the... Oh, God. Robert Roode. What is he? He said he's ready to brawl.
What a punch. That's how you stop your opponent.
No. AJ Styles reversing right here. These two men about to get it on. And these two will meet at Money in the Bank for the European title. And if Universe Mode doesn't book it, you better be sure that I will. AJ stomping. He's fighting back. He's fighting back because I'm on minus reversals right now. You're going to get a double underhook suplex. Robert Roode fighting back. Oh, but AJ fighting back too. Neck breaker. Neck breaker. These two men, the disdain for each other. This goes back to that other promotion that barely even exists now. Oh, and another neck breaker. Jesus. The animosity between these two men. Oh my God. The back and forth. This is wrestling. I feel like Family Guy's version of John Madden when it comes to football. That's me when it comes to wrestling. And oh, what a lariat. These two, the referee had to break it up. The referee is trying to hold his back before it gets fire. And this is how we're going to end Monday Night Raw. Oh, God, that felt so WCW. You know I'm old when I'm ending the event WCW-esque. Jesus. I need a life. But thank you. And I still want to hear those opinions, you know. GM mode went through a lot today, but you know, that was the first episode. We will definitely be doing SmackDown in a couple days, but this is the Lord Mike J Nikon, the Fellstar 31, ending this broadcast.